This is A Band's Life, a video podcast where bands share their experiences so we can all better navigate the music industry. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe, smash the bell too if you're on YouTube so you get notifications. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram and all those good things. This week, I'd like to introduce Magnolia Park.
We're at Magnolia Park. My name's Tristan. I play guitar.
I'm Josh. I'm lead vocals.
I'm Freddie. I play guitar as well.
Yeah. And we're like emo pop punk bands, basically.
Are you missing anybody?
Yeah, we're missing two people.
Yeah.
We're missing Cobus Ellis. He's our drummer.
Yeah. And Dylan Turner.
And Dylan. Oh wow. And Cobus is actually another vocal as well.
Oh yeah.
Cobus plays the drums and vocals.
Yeah.
Sweet. So when did you guys start?
We started about 10 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
We're pretty new bands.
I say, like, you guys seem like you're pretty new on all your socials. I looked them all up, but you got some decent numbers on all of them. How'd you guys get those jumped up so quick?
These guys right here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hard working, these guys.
Yeah. Well, we all wanted just to, like, when we came out, we had our vision and we wanted to have like content to build a fan base, and that's been our main focus: building content and engaging with our audience and all our fans. And it grew pretty fast after our first release, which was Patience with the music video, and like people stayed and engaged. And we're just trying to continue with that.
So I know it's a little bit early for you guys, but you guys have you guys started to consider yourself as a business?
Yeah.
Yeah, we look at our band as a business. Like that's why we try to have like the best looking content. Like we go to people that we think will make us look good. Like Kayla Sirico, we had her do our photos. She's really good at taking photos.
Amazing.
Yeah, we're always looking for like the best people that we could try to work with and make our social medias look very clean and neat. We don't try to post like things that will look dumb, like memes, stuff like that. Just keep it nice and professional.
Yeah, we stay away from the memes.
Yeah, I post a lot of frickin' memes. It's like, yeah, I like to get people like get some views because those algorithms kind of sometimes drag you down, especially if you're promoting your own stuff.
Yeah, Instagram. They all change the algorithms where you have to have like certain people like it by a certain time.
You have an hour time span.
Yeah, so you can your actual people who follow you see it even. So,
Like,
But the way around it is that people normally just post on their stories a lot, and then it kind of contributes as views and stuff like that.
yeah.
It helps.
Nice. So you've already run into some of those lovely algorithm problems and whatnot.
Yeah.
like even if you do the ad, like what the ad does is it makes it so more people that like your page at this point see it. Because sometimes you'll post something and you might have 1,000 people like liking and following your band, but only like maybe 30 of them will see it. And then when you pay for it, then you see more people that actually. So it's kind of lame. Like it should let you where if you like or follow the band, you see it automatically, and then if you're not part of it, then it follows.
Yeah, I definitely miss the old Instagram algorithm where it's like more chronological, not just like, oh, you didn't post in like 2 days. Yeah, we're gonna put you in the back here. Like,
Yeah.
it just sucks.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out the Facebook ads thing for a while. I've been hit and miss with it. Like sometimes I'll get to the people that I'm wanting to get to, and then other times, yeah, like you said, like it's just kind of almost pushing to people that have already liked your page, or yeah, it seems very hard, especially for I guess people like us that are somewhat new to it, to get to where you want it to be.
One thing that really works though is like you really take advantage of the tags and also really narrow down your demographic. Like one thing that we do is instead of putting 20, like let's say our budget is $100. Instead of putting $100 into the United States, we'll think of like 3 states we really want to hit. So like $20 in California, and then we'll do $40 in Florida, and then we also like the UK, so we'll do like another $20 in UK. So it's really being narrow and it's hitting them directly instead of saying like something super broad.
Yeah.
That really worked actually. That like really helped.
And was this just on Facebook, or was this with Facebook and Instagram?
Well, Facebook. I think Facebook bought out like Instagram, so like it does both, and they're like intertwined. But you can still do like Instagram itself or Facebook itself, depending on what you want to do. We like to hit like our target audience in each like region. So like when we do like videos or something, we usually do it for promoting our music videos. So.
So is anybody like kind of in charge of that, or you guys split up the chores or anything at all, or those you like those two guys again?
Yeah. I'm just the face, man. I'm just the face.
Yeah. When it comes to social media and stuff, it's we all have a say, but
Majority of it is you guys, though.
yeah, majority like we want to be taking like our image, like we always want to be like A1 and how we actually are in person and how we want to be seen by our fans. Like we want it to be a certain way, so we make sure that happens.
Yeah, I think I'm more the visual aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh helps out with that. Oh, Josh is a photographer, so he has like a really good eye.
Yeah.
And like his ideas are a lot more clear when it comes to visuals than ours.
Yeah.
Sweet. Do you do the graphic design then too?
That's actually our drummer. Scott, he's the one who does all the graphic designing. I'm more of the photo and video guy.
Yeah.
Dylan also did a logo.
Yeah, Dylan
does the logos as well.
You wanna plug your photography?
Oh, my photography.
Your photography. Okay.
I just actually got over 1,000, so I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy about that. I got over yesterday.
That's cool.
No, that's tight.
That's cool. Yeah.
But like the whole point of like me doing the podcast, interviewing bands and seeing what they do to help other bands see like, hey, this is how you could probably do this a little bit better. And it seems like you guys have split up the chores somewhat, that everybody who does what they do well does that job. You know?
Yeah, I feel as if to have a successful band, you have to have like someone who's dedicated to like the visual aspect of it, so the whole band doesn't have to like stress over it. Someone who was always like worried about the budget. Someone who's worried about the music, and obviously we're all worried about the music, but like someone who has that main focus of, all right, guys, let's go in this direction. Let's see what happens here and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
in order to be a successful band, you always have to split up everything equally and make sure that everything is going smoothly.
Yeah. It's just like when you can find where your band functions as like all together, like the best, it'll really get the ball rolling. Like, and they're just like keep on going.
Cool.
Well-oiled machine.
Cool.
Yeah.
So who does the touring or booking aspect of it?
A little bit of all of us.
Yeah, a little bit of
all
all
of
of
us, yeah.
Because our drummer Cobus, he used to be a booking agent for New Life Booking.
Yeah, New Life.
Yeah, which is a great booking agency down in Orlando where we play our shows and
Yeah,
stuff.
most of our shows are from New Life.
And he's been really involved in the scene, like the metalcore scene and the pop punk scene, for like a good while before this band even started. So that's how we got like most of our connections, like just off rip.
So he knows how things works and he knows the people in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the popular guy.
Yeah,
Cobus is the pop.
Nice. Well, I was gonna ask if anybody, like any booking agents or whatnot in the area, leaned on social media scores or numbers or whatever.
I mean, I know a few does. I think it's best if I just don't name them, but like, yeah, definitely a few in the area definitely lean heavily on social media presence.
And over here in at least in Orlando, I've heard a couple bands that come down for touring say different, but in Orlando, every venue like requires you to do pre-sales, like no matter what.
Yeah.
So that's the thing in Orlando. Like if you want to hop on a show, and sometimes people who do book the bigger shows, they don't really like allow locals to even like try to get on there. They just like stop it.
Yeah.
Entirely.
They don't really need to have a local since
Yeah.
they have the money coming already.
Which kind of sucks for the locals because like we all want our shot too, but
Yeah.
That's actually my next question, was if you guys have to deal with any pay-to-play. It seems to be a common thing across the nation. I'm from outside Chicago, and that started to kind of, like when I was in bands in like the late 90s, you started to hear a little bit about it. Even out here in LA, I've been here 10 years, and I've heard nothing but that since then.
No, Florida doesn't really run pay-to-play. It's like, it's just kind of weird because it's the pre-sale. So if you want to play a show, I had a promoter when I was in another band where we were like, hey, we want to play this show. And he's like, okay. Well, I've noticed your pool has gone down, so if you can't sell these 60 pre-sales, we might not be doing business together. So in a way, it was like kind of like saying pay-to-play, but at the same time not. Because pay-to-play is, if you don't sell them all, then you don't get to play. But if you don't sell all your pre-sales, you're still going to get your slot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not pay-to-play, but it's like, if you don't sell all of them, or you don't sell a good amount, you might not be considered very often to play a show.
Because I remember our like one of our first shows, we like we did good with all the pre-sales, and then we started to get offered like a bunch of different shows. It's basically off of that. That's how like, and then booking agents, like they all communicate in the area, and they told, oh, like this band sells a lot of pre-sales. So if you have like a touring band who doesn't have a lot of fan base, they'll put a bunch of locals on it to get like the bigger audience.
Yeah, that seems okay to me. Like a lot of people will complain about pay to play. That seems okay to where they're like, okay, well, here's this so many pre-sales you need to make, or I'm not going to consider you for the next show or whatever, or you're not going to be as high of priority to get on the next bill you want to get on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfectly fair.
Yeah.
I feel like it also helps out with the touring band because they make more money, which is like which needs to happen, and like then you see more people support, especially in the pop punk scene down here. There's only like, I would say there's like around like 7 bands or something like that usually get on the same like try to get on the same bill.
Yeah, about 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that.
So we have our own little community like building up, which is pretty cool to see.
Nice. I mean, that's completely fair to me. I mean, like out here it's a little bit different. Out here you normally have to sell those pre-sales. Maybe they might let you on the bill, but you're not going to be back ever. I mean, if you don't sell them. But
we try every time we get booked on a show, at least beforehand. We always try to sell our pre-sales and like get as many people as we can get out to the shows as possible with like social media marketing, face to face, whatever we can do. And having content always like it helped us because like people have a face and they have like a music, and it just helps with getting our word down.
Yeah, I think with a lot of bands, they gripe about having to sell all these tickets to play because like they don't realize that selling tickets is a part of the hustle of being in the band.
Yeah,
and if you don't have that in mind, then you're just gonna always be bitter about the scene that you're in.
it's true. Which is why I'm always like, I'm not completely against the whole pay-to-play aspect of it, but I know that people take advantage. Like, you need to be getting out there. You need to be doing your job, and I feel that's where they need to kind of meet in the middle, which what it sounds like you guys are doing down there. It sounds like people are meeting in the middle in that kind of...
Yeah, definitely.
How often do you guys do shows?
We only play like maybe once or twice a month.
Yeah, well, mostly like once a month. We only did it with bands that would be like around our area and style of music. Like we played with Belmont twice, and we did a pop punk prom, which was great. It was yeah. I think we only done around 5 shows.
About that. We only done 5 shows.
Yeah, and then our last show was at a cancer benefit called Hope Fest. It's where like a bunch of local bands from Orlando and Tampa of all different genres, from metalcore to alternative to whatever, they get together. Yeah, that was really fun. We're like we said, we're a pretty new band, and we're just trying to get content out there before we start like doing more shows and like getting on our run or touring, just so we can build a fan base before we try to go out there.
More about the internet.
Yeah, the internet's a great tool for like new bands, and we're trying to utilize that.
Nice.
We're trying to do the Soldier Boy method.
How best do you guys utilize that? I mean, is there certain like things that you lean towards?
I would say like Instagram and Facebook we use the most. Well, we're still active on Twitter because those are our 3 main, and we have it like listed everywhere in our Spotify. We got some like new fans through like having it on our Spotify because we've had a lot of engagement on our music lately, which was helpful, and our YouTube videos. We really push our music, like our videos, and Spotify too, because Spotify works as like a social media now too, because you can post your image as a band, you can post shows to whoever's like listening to your music. So
Spotify's definitely evolved.
Yeah, it's a really good tool for like independent musicians.
Yeah, I've seen a lot more of those nowadays. The ability to kind of post more stuff on there, including shows and even in certain circumstances merch. And a lot of bands I haven't seen actually take advantage of that yet.
We're waiting until we go on our next show before we're actually when our EP's coming out vacant, and we're gonna play a show, and that's when we're gonna do our whole merch line. Our first merch line is released, so because we wanted content so people could we sell our merch and stuff.
Yeah.
But we're definitely gonna take advantage of the tool Spotify has because they have a whole Spotify for artists.
Yeah.
And you can utilize that to promote shows and sell merch on there. it's all, and you can do it all independently. You don't really need a label because Spotify acts
Yeah.
as a label now, basically.
Are you currently working on new music for like more than just a couple singles?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a EP we did with Andy and Andrew Wade at the Audio Compound. He did A Day to Remember, Neck Deep, like some of our favorite bands. So yeah, it was awesome to be there. And we have two new songs and a remix song off the EP, which is coming out in a couple months. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I'll just say a couple months.
And then we're,
fairly soon.
yeah, and then we're currently working on new music to release the fall, like this year. Also, it's going to be another EP. We have a whole plan. We have our whole
videos and
year mapped out in our future. Yeah, a lot of videos, a lot of content to build our audience. So.
Yes. So you have like a plan to kind of to release that? Or are you gonna like slowly release that at a time, or
No, we have a plan. We like to hit certain like dates. Like we have our whole year listed out what we want to accomplish and like certain goals we want to reach. So of course there's setbacks, so we adjust to the plan, but we try to hit our mark every time.
And you guys, you do your own video, right? The music video I saw. Did you guys do that yourselves?
Oh no!
No, that's our buddy Evan Draver, Silo Digital.
Yeah, amazing.
He's dope. I think the only video that we're gonna be doing ourselves is one of the songs off the EP.
Yeah,
Can't say
that's our
too much,
EP.
but
Yeah, we can't say too much, but it's going to be a really fun video. And then we're doing another video with Evan, because he's amazing. He's honestly like great to work with. He's super easy, and he's
he's definitely our go-to.
yeah, he's been our go-to guy.
Nice. Yeah. Give me a couple names at the end of this, so we can give them some shout outs on this, just so we can link them and whatnot.
Awesome.
Get them some traffic too. I was gonna ask, what do you guys do for day jobs?
I work at Walgreens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I work at Spencer's, man.
Nice. That's where I get most of my hats.
Yeah. I'm a waiter at a retirement home. Cobus is he works at PetSmart. He loves that job because he's around like dogs all day. And Dylan works at Steak and Shake.
You work at Steak and
Yeah.
The dream.
Yeah, we're all trying to build this up where we can like do this full time. Work as hard as we can.
Not have to work our jobs.
Yeah, because we love writing. Like when we all get together, it's like the best feeling in the world. It's like when I'm with them, I'm around my best friends. So like, it's always fun to be there.
Are you guys' jobs pretty conducive to being able to plan gigs and things?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the only reason why I'm staying there at Spencer's right now, is because they work with my schedule so well. So that's always a plus.
We all made sure we found jobs that allowed us to do music, like part-time jobs, because we're all pretty young. Like I think Cobus is 20, or he's still 19.
Cobus is the youngest.
Yeah, so we're still like growing up and trying to figure things out, but we're focused on what we have to do.
Are you close to like Miami or Orlando or something down there? Or?
Orlando.
Orlando.
We're
Yeah.
essentially like in Orlando.
Yeah, we're in Orlando.
Orlando's really weird to pinpoint because it has like a lot of different mini places.
Yeah. I was like in Los Angeles is like a bunch of big cities put together. Have you guys tried gig economy jobs, anything like that? You know what I'm talking about? Uber or Postmates or anything like that?
Oh yeah, Cobus. Yeah.
I think he did Lyft.
Yeah, Cobus did.
He's Lyft?
Him and his girlfriend. That's what they do for extra money and stuff.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I've been trying those out just to I'm going to do a video for the channel like in, I don't know, hopefully in a couple weeks here. So I tried out a bunch of them just to see how easily you could make money off them and how well they like kind of work with your job. So I know that a lot of bands, either they need extra money for, doing recording or whatnot, or shirts or whatever, merch or whatever they're going to buy ahead of time. They don't always have money. So I was like, maybe this is a good way to do that without having to get like another job or work extra hours or something.
I don't know if Amazon still does it, but there's one where you could sign up and you could be an Amazon carrier.
Yeah.
And you just go to like location, but everyone wants to do that.
I haven't done that one yet, but there's a lot of that out here. I could easily sign up with that. Just like they're practically the postal service now. It's kind of crazy. Have you guys ever thought about things like Patreon?
We definitely have, but the thing is, I feel like we don't have enough like of a fan base to start on something like that yet. And honestly, like being such a new band, we haven't had time to focus on like building content for Patreon. So like something special yet that we can offer to anyone.
Yeah, I think like with Patreon, if like for musicians, I know for a fact, it's just like if they don't have any originals, they're busting out covers a lot. And,
Yeah,
like, that's something that we kind of want to like stay away from.
Yeah,
covers. So.
That's true.
We're just gearing up for original music.
Yeah. I think the last band pretty much against doing Patreon, just out of, I don't know, they didn't like the idea of it. Because I know that they have like super low tiers to where they're like, hey, do you want to just support us for like $1 a month or something ridiculous? Is like, that's kind of a good idea. I mean, if you really like a band, like what's a couple bucks a month? I mean, I do that for a couple different people.
Yeah, like think about it too. If one person drops $1,
Yes,
that can easily multiply if 500 people do it a month.
I think it's just like a stigma for some reason in the music industry that you have to be portrayed a certain way. Like you have to do this all yourself. Where like in the gaming world, they utilize that, and of course they're doing like Twitch or anything like that's content every day.
Yeah.
But I feel like bands should start to do that because that's a way we can, as musicians, afford to like live and do this full time. Instead of having to have like struggle through a day job, you can have your fans actually help you out and build that way.
I look at Patreon as more of like busking for online.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it. You can definitely see it that way. It could definitely be that way if that's how you kind of treat it. I pay for, I think, $5 a month for my friends RKVC, and they're just like a pop duo, but they actually do they do a lot of video. In fact, last year they did way more video than they did any music. They're trying to do more music this year, but yeah, I feel like bands in general don't create a lot of content, and they don't want to walk into that realm that like gamers are in or YouTube people are in, and I feel like they're a little scared to do that. I don't know if they seem like they won't be legit or something, but to be honest, like the bands that start doing that, I think get more content out there, being able to connect with their fans, that'll probably be a lot easier for them to survive, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of artists like who just do YouTube for a living. That's how they make their money, YouTube and Patreon. I mean, but I also think that like with bands, I think the mentality with bands is that Patreon is just more like, okay, this is a very oversaturated area because of all the gamers, all the other like models and stuff that always do Patreon. And that for a band to do, it's like, oh, we're kind of like selling out in a sense.
Yeah, I can see how it'll be weird at first, but me personally, I would accept one of my favorite bands, even my local bands. I would definitely support.
I would.
Yeah, I would contribute whatever I can because I want to see them progress and come out with better things, especially if they're independent, which a lot of bands now are. It just helps out, and I don't see a problem with a fan being like contributing on Patreon, or even like if a band did like Twitch streamed their practices or whatever.
Yeah.
Did something consistently, and you could donate to them. That's like buying their albums because income from album sales or like touring has declined definitely, and there's needs to be like more avenues of income for bands to be succeed because it's not just like one person entity most of the time. It's like 4 people. I'm
a recording engineer and mixer producer out here in LA, and I got here in 2008 when everything like just took a dump. And I was working at a pretty big studio, and it literally, I got hired on, and then like 3 months later, the calendar was like dead. Like there was nothing on the calendar, and I was like, oh, that's scary. And they're like, yeah, real scary. Hey, we need to let you go, kind of deal. To where, and I was like, oh, okay. And so just seeing that the music industry doesn't have a lot of money, or it has not had a lot of money in a long time, that's really hard not only for bands, but for people like me, or even for people that do video or anything else like that. It's been really hard. Positive thing, though, I've seen a lot of uptick in Spotify, and people getting money off of Spotify, especially small bands. I know that there's the big artists that still kind of complain, oh, I only got like $200 on this one song that streamed 1 million times or something. But there was like 20 there's usually something like 20 writers on it or something. It kind of gets ridiculous. But a lot of, from what I've seen online, the younger bands, as long as they completely own all their revenue, they seem to be doing okay or doing better.
I researched all the like Spotify
algorithms. It's really like there's so many ways like you can get your music and engage a new audience off of like that platform, like through playlists, through ads you can do on the platform, and you can invest in that as a band. So that's its own like tool in itself. And like getting on playlists that definitely helped us out.
Yeah.
It helped us. We're almost at like 50,000 streams on our second single already in the month because of playlists we like messaged and got on.
Nice.
All the little playlists will, even like the ones that aren't that great, or or might not seem great, are worth trying to get on.
Yeah.
And collaborative playlists are also easy ones to get on. There's a lot of groups on Facebook that are targeted directly towards people who make playlists and then other artists who want to get more streams. So you can always go on those groups and that'll help you out a lot.
Yeah.
They're like the booster streams.
Yeah, for sure. I actually have two playlists. If anybody, one's for the bands that are on these podcasts. I normally will take whatever like is your main song and I'll throw it on that. And two is for like any bands that are in indie, pop punk, emo, etc. If you guys want to submit to me, I'll take a listen and be like, hey, if it's pretty good, I'll throw it up on there. So just FYI. How did you guys get on the other ones?
There's a couple ways. So there's the one way that we do it is there's a website called Chartmetric. Mm-hmm. And you go on, I mean, they've changed it up like every other website. They're starting to change everything where it's a little harder. Yeah. But what you do is you go on Chartmetric, then you type in your genre. So we do each genre we think we are. So we'll do emo, and then I'll show a bunch of playlists that random people make that are emo, and then we hit on their username, and then we check if they have a Facebook. Mm-hmm. And then we message them on Facebook. And then another thing we do is you just go on Spotify and you type in post-hardcore, and then you get all these post-hardcore playlists.
All these playlists. And then you can they sometimes have like their Instagram or like Facebook on there. You just message them. It's honestly like back in the day, you know how labels would like reach out to radio stations. That's like how like playlists are now. They're like their own little radio stations because people just like, I just feel like listening to sad and chill vibe or whatever, and they just put it on. And then they hear like our song, and they're like, "Oh, let me check this out." And they follow us on Spotify. So it's honestly a great tool that for independent musicians to utilize.
They have a good amount of followers, some of them, because some of them will be like smaller music pages. So they'll have like 20,000 followers, and then you just go on their Facebook page, message them, email them, just be really annoying essentially.
And you start to see labels start to utilize that too. By making their own playlists, like Pure Noise, which we actually got our first single, Patience, on that pop punk. Is it called pop punk?
Yeah, I think it's pop punk Pure Noise.
Yeah, and they put all their artists on like the top so they get more streams and stuff. I don't know how it necessarily works for like bigger playlists, but I saw that Bring Me the Horizon. As soon as their single came out, they were at the top of #1 of playlists of like the Rock This or whatever.
And they got the cover.
Yeah. Because those are super important for like streaming numbers, because that's how people like take their music now, through the playlist, because you can hear all different artists and discover all new things.
Then you get in the algorithm, you get quickly put on the Discover Weekly. Really, you just want to try to get whatever you can do to get 1,000 streams the first day, at least 1,000 streams, because then Spotify will recognize you. And the really weird thing about Spotify is there's an algorithm where it makes its own playlists. Mm-hmm. So, for example, there'll be, I forgot what it's called. It'll be like the sound of pop punk. And then me and Tristan were like, who makes the sound of pop punk? And I Googled it. It's like, no one makes the sound of pop punk. Spotify made it itself.
And they have their own like editorial playlists.
Oh, yeah.
That you have to try to get on. But they have to like see you and you can submit to that. But that's a really good thing. If you get on their editorial playlist, your song's going to do really, really well.
Yeah.
And then if your song's doing well in the smaller editorial playlist, they'll bump you up into a bigger editorial playlist with even more followers. So it's all like an algorithm. Like you have to like hit the mark. And they do have like actual people listening to it, but it's really like if your song's doing well.
I wish Apple Music would do that already.
Yeah, Apple Music definitely needs to get on that game.
Apple Music is slacking hard.
They've been slacking for a long time.
Peep game.
Yeah.
Taking note from Spotify. Or Inspire now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Apple, they already have money coming in because you got to pay for Apple Music. Spotify's free.
Yeah, to an extent.
If you don't want commercials.
No, I don't pay for Spotify.
Yeah, he doesn't pay for Spotify.
I don't do monthly subscriptions.
He doesn't support music.
I do it here and there. I think I let it go up this month, but I had it probably for the last 6 months. So how do you guys deal with relationships? Do you live, is your family and friends or significant others?
We're close for the most part. Josh and Dylan, the bassists, live the furthest out. Josh is like a 40-minute drive. Dylan could be a 50-minute drive.
Yeah.
But me, Tristan, Scott, we live like 5 minutes away from each other. Me and Tristan live in the same neighborhood. Scott lives essentially.
Well, yes, he lives with us. Me and the drummer have been best friends since he was 12 and I was like 13 or something. So like we've been best friends for a while. We've been in bands back. So yeah, and he lives with his girlfriend right now. Josh lives with his girlfriend. Freddie and Dylan's girl, normal relationship stuff, and it's not too. I don't think it's too good.
I was asking if that was a plane going by.
Oh yeah, that is a plane.
Yeah, I'm so close to the airport. That's the crazy part.
Have you guys ever tried to like live together or like try to kind of do things that way? I've seen a couple bands do that where they like get one big spot and they all kind of try to save their money that way. No?
I'd be broke.
Yeah, you'd be broke.
I'd be broke.
Yeah.
Same.
Maybe in the future, if we like have enough of a fan base where we can like afford things, like right now.
And record ourselves.
Yeah, record ourselves. Because me, Dylan are like we record local bands here too. I would say like we're still amateurs, but we do a lot of like ghostwriting and recording for like some metalcore bands and like pop punk bands. That's like our thing. We make some extra cash off of.
That's a good idea, and to be honest, for the band, that's really great because even if you guys do get like an outside producer, so that it doesn't take, so that you know. It takes everything off of your shoulders while you're actually writing and doing your own recording. Like, you guys at least have the demos done and you have everything set out ready beforehand. When I do stuff, I normally try to do some pre-production with bands just to make sure. Because if they go into the studio, sometimes we'll get through a song, they'll be like, oh, I want this arrangement to be different or something. Be like, nope, I don't have time for that. I already spent the money, man. I think most bands are at least picking up on that they need to be at least decent audio engineers. To be able to record themselves for demos at least.
It's definitely pushed our music as a whole. Like, because when we first started, I was pretty new to like the audio and engineering, and then Dylan joined the band, and he taught me a lot, which like definitely pushed our sound and like what we want to do, all the cool pre-productions we want to do. And by the time we got to the studio, we knew what we wanted to do, and our producer Andy like even like helped us push our sound farther, because we usually come in with like our stems already ready for the pre-pros, and then we can listen to it and do like any kind of like rearranging we want.
He took the one whole day to listen to our song and gave us stuff to improve.
Yeah.
So when we come back, he listened to our lyrics. He was like, hey, you gotta change the lyrics here. Like, all right, this piano melody's not working. Mm-hmm. He's like, so we had to redo the piano melody. That was pretty dope.
It's nice that you guys have all that stuff done though ahead of time, so that you know, we can come in and be like, hey, let's just tinker around the edges now, as opposed to like getting deep and then those edges don't get touched because you usually run out of time or money or
yeah.
It's all about the little details that make a song good.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm a person that lives in Pro Tools, and whatnot in Pro Tools and editing, but I love to like roll on like analog tape or something, or I hate chopping up like drums or editing drums to the grid. Like that drives me up a wall. That feels just so machine. Like everything should push and pull, like the way, especially for rock. Maybe not metal, because metal is just so.
Oh no, metal you can literally go like do.
Yeah, there's so much machine gun kick drum that it needs to have. That almost needs to be on that grid, but for everything else, there needs to be a feel and a vibe and a flow.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. I really enjoyed talking to you guys. Just go ahead and drop what you guys are doing now, or what you guys want people to look up.
Yeah, so we just released a single a month ago called Desperate. It's on, we have a video on YouTube. It's on our Spotify. You can follow us there. And we have an EP coming out in the next couple months called Vacant. We're going to release a couple more videos, so keep an eye out on that. Thank you so much for having us on this podcast. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Do you guys have any bands that you'd like maybe shout out?
Yes.
I want to shout out to Grieve. Shout out to Deadland. Shout out to I Met Yeti. Makari.
Tone's gonna get mad. Bottom.
Oh yeah, Mount Kintsugi.
Yeah. Meet Me at the Altar. 408. Like, our whole local scene is pretty awesome, and we love all you guys if you're watching this.
Yeah, for real.
And then Evan Draper.
Silo Digital.
Andy from Audio Compound.
Yeah, so shout out to
Plug Official. He's pretty dope.
all the people that make us not sound like we suck.
Yeah.
Well, I will link and add everything in the show notes and the bio. This goes on YouTube as well as any podcasting app. I will link and edit everything in the bio so all those people get some shout outs, and including you guys' new stuff, and all of your social medias are going to be down there as well. Thanks again, man, and hopefully maybe give you guys a call in the future. All right.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No problem.
Peace.
Peace.